interesting thing is the any layout thing. So often it's hard to define when you have different screen sizes. So to use a V stack or H stack or something like that. And with the any layout, you have an easy way to switch that depending on the size you have. So you could say on a specific size class, you want to use an H stack or an V stack. So so normally when you
can you quickly check if the on air lamp is turned on? It's next to you on the desk on your right side. Is it on?
No, I don't think so. Why? Where?
It was asked in chat.
Ah, okay. No.
Did you re-solder it, Moritz? Or did you just plug it in, because that will not work?
Okay.
It's not connected anymore, the USB port. Okay, back to that.
So yeah, let's do a little bit that we see something on screen. So system, so basically as a simple, I can't type anymore. So what do we have? For example, person.
Yeah, make it bigger maybe. Yeah. Did you know that you can, I think it was something like Command-Shift-L or so?
Command-Shift-L.
I think that's it, yeah. And then if you select the very last entry at the tab bar at the top, the star one, that you now have all the SF symbols in here and can find them here.
Nice. So we can have a look what do we have with person or something. And if I click it, it gets, okay. Then it gets pasted. So you could say this one. But I want to do it a little bit larger. So we have system size
1000.
I think it's big enough. So so basically we could say, okay, on a large screen we want to use an H stack here, and if we get a smaller screen or something, we want to switch to a V stack. Yeah. And for that you have any layout. So it's like so what we need to exchange is the H stack and V stack thing. And we could say, okay, we have any layout here, layout, and then with the layout. And the layouts, they got changed during the beta. At the first versions, you could use an H stack, which doesn't work anymore. You need now an H stack layout. So it took me some time to figure that out. Yeah, basically what that does is rendering a basic H stack. Yeah.
Okay.
And but now we could say, okay, we do we exchange it depending on the horizontal size class, for example. So with the environment, we can get horizontal size class.
Is there some good way to know all the environments or discover them? So
okay. I just search for them, or maybe let's check if
they are.
No, I don't know if that's all the possible things.
Yeah, most likely. But...
yeah, but you have a lot of them.
Yeah.
So the calendar we used last time. So we get a default calendar which is used in the device and stuff like that. But what we want to use now is the horizontal size class, and we assign it to horizontal size class. So we can use it in our code class. And now we could say that we do something like we want to exchange this one, so we can say let's add a variable here, layout, and let's do it here because it's easier for showing it. So we say layout, we depend it on the horizontal size class, so we say horizontal size class, we check it now, and we could say if it's regular, for example, then we want to use any layout with the HStack layout. And otherwise, we say any layout VStack.
Couldn't you do this already inside the any layout specific, so that instead of having layout, then have to repeat any layout twice? Just say it's an any layout, and then inside any layout.
You want something like any layout,
and
and then here
your condition
basically
above,
this thing here.
Yeah.
I don't know if that works. Let's check.
It should.
But I think it should work. So that's the HStack layout.
Yeah.
Otherwise, VStack layout.
Yeah.
Constructor. So let's check if it's compiling.
It cannot
No.
return. It's not the same type.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why you have to do it that way.
Yeah, because that's some kind of type erasure of the layout. Like any view and stuff like that, it's type erasing the HStack and the VStack layout.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work like that.
Mm.
So we change back to the variable. And HStack, that should work. It succeeded. And now we can say with the new Xcode, we have dynamic the orientation values should work, but I need the max, right? The Pro is always
or you can just change it above to iPad
or iPad, something with a different. Let's take the Pro Max. So restart. So let's see how good that works in the preview.
Maybe we can point again our viewers to our total followers up there, which right now are like almost 100. Maybe if you haven't followed, consider following.
Yeah. But here you can see. So with regular size class, you get a HStack here.
Yeah.
And the other one is the VStack. So with that, you can switch layouts if you want on the different size classes.
Can it animate it as well? So when you rotate it, that it then...
Good question. So I think the question is, what could be animated then?
If the items move around.
The question is how I added here the animation. It should be on change of this one, right?
Yeah. You don't have a with animation
No,
thing, right?
I don't have that.
I mean, you can set the animation on this one.
Which one?
The layout, just animation as a view modifier. But usually this is then triggered when you call something with...
Value is layout? I don't know if that works.
No, horizontal size class would that be, I guess. So when this changes, then...
So let's check.
Maybe.
But I think I need a simulator then.
Yeah.
Because this one I can't rotate. So let's start up the simulator.
What is this black pill shape thing on
you know what that is?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's animated, right?
But somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is an animation.
Yeah.
It's not pretty, but it's animated.
Doing something.
But let's check what it happens without it. If that's the standard behavior.
Yeah, it's
the standard.
I would
not exactly.
I mean, if you there's this thing where you can specify animation identifiers or something so that it knows when you rotate it that it's the same element and then can
that's the
transition
it's called. Yeah, it's the match geometry effect.
Yeah, something.
I think then you can say, okay, you can match. Yeah, exactly. It's that one. You can say you give it an ID and a namespace.
Yeah.
And then you have to define a namespace here, but I don't know exactly how it works. So,
yeah, maybe it's
something like namespace.
And maybe it's an overkill in this case because it already knows it's the same element.
Yeah, I think
And
the match geometry effect is more for if you have two different screens and you want to animate between those, and you have
yeah,
to,
you
if you
have
want
the
to
same
move,
text in both views, and
yeah,
then you can say
exactly,
that
and
is
you
the
want to
same
move
text,
it,
and it can move it. Yeah,
and
yeah,
with the ID, it knows then on the second screen that has the same ID, then it's the same element, and
yeah,
then it tries to animate the transition.
yeah. That's true.
Yeah. So, but as we saw, that's the basic thing is already a little bit animated. And what we also can do, we also have environment. Maybe sometimes that's also useful. We have the dynamic type size. So basically, if you change the font sizing and the dynamic sizes, so you could dynamic size.
Yeah, so
And
if it gets
then,
too big, then
yeah, exactly. And
render
then
it.
we
Yeah.
could say, let's change this one. And we say dynamic size.
Half so bad is hearing some music in the background. I don't hear any music.
I don't hear anything. So
Maybe it's in
dynamic
your head.
size, and that's what do we have here? Here we have the sizes: large, small, medium, extra large. So we could say if it's, now I don't know. Let's say if we have extra large, then we use an H tag. That's if we don't have extra
Yeah, the other
large.
way around. Yeah,
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So let's see if I switch here to dynamic type variance, then we get more. And then let's see what happens. I should continue the preview.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we have
the one.
Yeah, I said if it's not extra large, so we have every time an H stack, only an extra large we have a V stack.
Yeah.
And that's what we see here.
That's cool.
We could also say, I think if it's smaller than.
Not sure if it can do that. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
So then
How does this work? Is it an integer there?
Yeah, I would suggest that that's some kind of integer also.
I thought that's an enum. It can still have a value.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go into it? Just for that, but scroll up a bit. You don't need it because we have the new Xcode and it has like the sticky headers. So it's a hashable comparable.
Yeah.
So it implements how to compare.
It can be compared.
Yeah,
so that's why you can say
the
smaller or larger than, And that could be useful if
you now remove the font below so that it actually is applied. You had this in the way, but basically if it gets now bigger, it's maybe better. The use case is
we
more
could
clear.
say, can we say, no, we can say it.
If you now if you put it to large title or the largest predefined one.
Okay.
So it's not so small.
Large title.
Yeah, and then if it gets basically too big to be shown in one line, because of the extra large dynamic size, it switches and.
Yeah, that's basically not the best example with the three icons, but if you could think about, you have, I don't know, some buttons besides to each other with a large label or something. Yeah, but in some cases it can be useful to switch that dynamically. Because with large font size you don't have the space, and then you could say, okay, then I switch the layout a little bit. Yeah, that's nice.
For example, if you have maybe normally you would have like a title and a value horizontally next to each other, but if you have an extra large
then you can say do it on top of each other. Yeah, that's the any layout thing.
And I mean, before that, you would have just copied the whole, like in our case, the image system name.
Exactly. Before that, you would have something like if blah blah blah, then use a H tag and extract this to a method or a variable or something like that. And you have an if else construct.
I mean, you have it now as well. Just hidden
Yeah,
in,
but you
inlined.
don't have to repeat
Yeah.
the content.
Yeah, yeah.
So you can switch it in another way. Because before you couldn't do if to switch it here inline, because then Xcode would say that one is H stack and it's not V stack, and
Yeah.
you have to how is the error called? That's not exact the same view or something like that. It doesn't work without it.
Because you then return the sum view
Yeah, exactly.
is different types.
Yeah, the compiler doesn't like that.
Ash thanks us for the nice learning in 5 minutes.
Hmm?
Great in chat. Yeah.
So that's the thing with any layout.